those of you who don't know much about either movie, the premise is that an alien has come from somewhere in space that can replicate another organism's body and imitate them. The amount of clones that can be made is indefinite, so worst case scenario, the entire population could be absorbed by this mysterious life form. Basically, these movies are a lot like a whodunit type deal. Kinda like Clue, except it wasn't Mr. Green with the rope, it was an alien absorbing you. The catch is that at first there is only one thing, but others are soon infected and the viewer is unsure of who is still human. Let's take a look at how the 82 version starts. Why are these men trying to kill this dog? What happened? The movie starts already throwing questions at the viewer, which is basically a theme of the movie. Like any good horror movie, we feel a connection to the crew right from the start. We have a ping pong table, a guy rollerblading through the halls, and a general sense of camaraderie amongst these men. Now, let's see how the 2011 version starts out. Okay, that's pretty cool, I guess. Now we get to meet the crew. Aw, shit. This guy is a dick, and half the crew doesn't speak English. This makes them pretty hard to sympathize with, so there's no sense of brotherhood here. When the main conflict occurs, and the crew is turned against itself, there won't be a great feeling of division like there is in the 82 version. This movie starts out with me already not giving a fuck. I will now talk about the protagonists from each movie. It's only the first couple of minutes into the movie, and the protagonist is already likable. I want to see MacReady succeed. I want to see the Thing defeated by him. We learn later on that MacReady is intelligent and resourceful. He is willing to take matters into his own hands and plan out a strategy which I will elaborate on in a later section. This is Kate, the protagonist from the 2011 version of The Thing. My overall thoughts on her? Meh. Yeah, she's smart, but she never truly achieves badass status. And I'm not just saying this because she's a woman. If you want to see a badass female protagonist, go see Alien. I saw this movie about 2 months ago, and I had to look up her name for this review. Do you think I had to look up MacReady? MacReady manages to be a memorable character as opposed to his forgettable counterpart. This is the third section of the review, which I will name Beast Unleashed. The Thing from the 82 version is vulnerable.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
He doesn't have the strength of Superman, or the speed of the Flash, but what it lacks in physique, it makes up in strategy. This monster manipulates the minds of the crew members and waits for the perfect time to strike. If it is in danger, it will flee to preserve itself. The Thing is meticulous and calculative. It never reveals itself unless it is in danger or it has an opportunity to infect another human without others knowing about it. By infecting others, the Thing creates more pawns to use on its chessboard. The Thing from the 2011 version is beefy, powerful, and quick. It takes on the task of becoming the angry drunk of the movie. When the Thing goes apeshit and slices and dices a few people, we don't care.
It attacked Edward! Come on.
Who the fuck is Edwick? The crew wasn't properly established, so when the shit hits the fan, it doesn't really matter. Another Norwegian died? Oh, okay. Who was that again? Oh, and instead of using practical prop monsters, they went for full-blown CGI. Oh boy. This is the fourth section of the review, which I will name Effects on the Crew. Here we will analyze, in each movie, how the crew responds to the presence of the Thing. After their first real encounter with the Thing, Blair realizes that this shit is serious.
Okay, Blair. Come on, man. You don't want to hurt anybody.
I'll kill you!
Awesome. We see one of the most level-headed crew members completely lose it. This event carries weight to it because of the development that he was given earlier on in the movie. The Thing plants evidence suggesting that MacReady has been infected, and the crew turns against him. He breaks back into the facility and gets a flare and dynamite, threatening to blow everyone to hell if they get near him. He forces the crew to indulge an idea of his that even the blood of a Thing would try to survive from harm.
Now I'll show you what I already know.
Badass. A feeling of unease permeates the rest of the movie. It adds to the feeling of paranoia that would result from psychological trauma. In the 2011 version, when the crew turns on itself, it doesn't have much impact. The group started without unity, so breaking a group even further does nothing. The leader is an asshole, which is a terrible idea because it creates two antagonists, the dickweed leader and the Thing. In a movie like this, a contrast should be felt once the Thing reveals itself. The crew catches on to the premise very quickly, which results in the movie feeling hurried. Their method of testing if someone is a thing or not is looking for tooth fillings. Really?
Huh? Big Mac 1099!
This makes sense, but ends up just looking silly. The 82 version also made sense, and it had science. Not to mention it was badass. The lack of character development also makes death scenes very forgettable. I often was asking the question, who is this guy again? I don't know who you are, dude. In this section, we will analyze how each movie concludes its narrative. The 82 version ends similar to how it began in the sense that it relies on tension and suspense. The viewer can feel the desperation of the remaining crew members as their situation goes from bad to worse. The dialogue and soundtrack stress that this is their last shot, their final hurrah. The culmination of 2 hours of unease is right about to explode right in the viewer's face.
Maybe we'll just warm things up a little around here. We're not getting out of here alive. But neither's that thing.
And better yet, the viewer cares about what happens to these people. We don't know where Blair is or what he's planning. We don't know who is still really on MacReady's side. This is a continuation of the theme of the unknown. The ending is more or less non-conclusive, which is very fitting for a movie like this. After MacReady's encounter with the Blair thing, is he really still human? Is Child still human? We don't know, and we shouldn't. The 2011 version connects the events to the 82 version properly in some areas, but fails in one in particular. What happened to the thermite charges? The final events of this movie feel like the writer just said,
Fucking thing sucks!
we'll have a chase scene that makes no sense, and everyone else in the movie sucked and agreed. This is not how the Thing behaves. It is cautious and calculating. Most of all, it is feeble. It knows that it can't win a straight-up fight with someone, so it chooses to attack from the shadows. Not in this case. We have a muscular, alien-looking thing chasing a girl around the place for what feels like forever. For me, the ending was very dull, and I would have fallen asleep if I hadn't been laughing so hard. The prequel answers questions that no one wanted to know the answer to, or even asked. I didn't need to see how Splitface was created, and I didn't need to see why the Norwegians were chasing the dog. It was a movie that never should have existed. The 82 version is a classic because the whole movie is shrouded in mystery and confusion. It was a battle of wits with the Thing, and they lost. Or did they? You see what I did there? Ho ho ho! Thanks for watching, guys.